So a few weeks ago, I made this video about how Naruto was a trash dad, and personally I thought it was good, but the comments brought to my attention that there were even worse. Shonen dads in general are just trash, so I had to go digging, searching for the worst one, and came up with a bunch of them actually. So like any YouTuber, I made a tier list. So quick review of the tiers. We have some dads that aren't that bad, some that are gone for milk, like the entire anime, cause emotional or physical harm, and you have those that are just downright evil. First up, we have the Titan dad himself, Grisha Yeager. In all honesty, if he didn't do what he did, we wouldn't have the Attack on Titan series, and everyone in the walls would be dead. But let's not forget, he gave Eren the Titan powers, not only shortening his lifespan to 8 more years, but also giving him this huge responsibility that he didn't want in the first place, ruining his life, and it must have been bad if Zeke ratted him out to the military. But if you think about it, he did do a lot of things that benefited the people on the Paradise Island, so in my book, he isn't that bad.
Hey Nina, I've got an idea. Do you want to play with Daddy tomorrow?
Really?
Yeah.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight!
Now onto one of my personal favorite anime series, Full Metal Alchemist. With these two dads both universally hated for the things they've done, one more than the other, but still, let's start with this psychopath who's responsible for one of the most traumatic scenes in anime, Sho Tucker. This man combined his daughter and pet dog into an abomination. I had to rewatch that scene for this video, and wow, this is my first time watching it in sub for Full Metal Alchemist, and trust me, it is way more disturbing in sub. I don't know how, but it just is. Don't watch it, just take my word for it. But this guy, absolute scum, downright evil. Hohenheim, he really isn't that bad per se, just a bad father. He barely shows up the entire anime, gone for milk. Now onto Donkey Kong, aka Goku. He just barely is around his son, even putting his son up against enemies that he lost to. So I have to say Goku is just downright evil.
It's me, Goku! It's me, Goku!
Bro, it was a joke, it was a joke. Okay. Gone for milk, gone for... Bro, chill. Next up, Rasov the Sand, Gaara's dad, but you wouldn't know it because of the amount of times he's tried to kill Gaara to quote-unquote test his resolve. He had the only person Gaara loved try to kill him, but luckily it failed. But if this wasn't traumatizing enough, this guy who's his uncle, if I didn't mention that, tells Gaara, "Oh, by the way, your mama never liked you," and dies. So are we really surprised that Gaara turned out like this? Caused emotional harm. Charles Z. Britannia, the ruler of the Britannian Empire that has committed many genocides while capturing countries. It's not surprising that he's a horrible father. Due to his background status as emperor, Charles sees his children really as expendable, and only the strong move up, perfectly showcased when he shuns his blind and paralyzed daughter. Props to Lelouch because he tries standing up for his sister, but that's a no-no, and Charles disowns them both. Yeah, Charles, you go there. Next up, a dad I recently found out about like last week, Daario Brando. For all of you living under a rock, I made a video about what if Naruto had the world, so I had to do some research about JoJo since I never watched the show, and I came across this bastard, Daario Brando. When the introduction of a character is them mocking and attempting to rob a dead body, you already know they're bad. But Daario, it just keeps getting worse and worse with almost every scene that he's in, and he had the triforce of bad parenting. Gambler, alcoholic, and abusive, so it's no surprise that Dio ended up being a villain. I'll drop you in physical harm. As the number 2 hero, Endeavor has to live in the shadow of All Might basically all the time, so he always wanted to be better than him, and when he figured out All Might is just too strong, he started breeding the perfect match to All Might, a son that has his quirk but not the weaknesses of it, half hot and half cold. And after a few failed attempts, Shoto was born, and Endeavor was obsessed with training Todoroki. He got to spend barely any time with his siblings. Endeavor abused Todoroki to the point where his wife had a mental breakdown, turning Shoto into Zuko, and Endeavor sees the damage that she caused to the potential number 1 hero, and let's just say he put her in a hospital. So obviously Endeavor is very high on this list, but let's not take away from the strides that he's making for all the wrongs he's done in his past. After all, everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Similar to Ross of the Sand, I would say Endeavor caused more emotional harm to Todoroki than physical. Yeah, you could count the scar, but his mom technically inflicted it onto him, but you know, Endeavor was the cause of all that. Yeah, it's all jumbled, but I personally think that it affected Todoroki more emotionally than physically. Finally, on to what some may say is the worst dad in anime, Gambino. If you've ever seen Berserk, you already know about this menace. He is Guts' adoptive father. One sentence can really sum up how Gambino treated Guts. He treated him worse than a dog. Gambino would take all the money he would earn, maybe give him a coin if he's feeling good that day, and he even sold Guts to another guy who, so because of YouTube's policies I can't say the word, but you know, he R-worded him, it wasn't consensual if you're picking up what I'm putting down. This incident still haunts Guts as an adult, and that's enough said. He's downright evil. Thank you guys for sticking around all the way to the end, and if you agree with anything on the list, drop a like and a sub. If not for me, then for this random hamster I found on Google. Also, huge announcement guys, I have merch. Check out the pinned comment for the link to the merch store. We got hoodies, t-shirts, and more, so check out the website, even if you don't buy anything, but it would be really appreciated to support the channel. And with that all said, I'll see you in the next one.